Hello, today I want to tell you about a very important dream that I had about a year ago. And this is a dream about a very special tree. This tree came to me, to my life, two times, one in a dream, and one it showed up again in a very special way. But I'm going to leave it to the end of the video to tell you how it appeared again. So, I think the dreams are very, very important in my life because they speak to me in a very different way, not with words, but with pictures and with visions. And I don't always understand them straight away in the first day after the dream, but I let it sit there and I draw it, I illustrate it, I write about it, I write about the feelings that they bring. I talk about it with my best friends, and they sometimes help me to see it from a different angle. But basically, I think it's like kind of a bridge between the subconscious, which is huge and it really runs our lives, and the awakened word. So, the awakened word is the word where we live our lives when we are in our roles, when we are busy, and sometimes we don't even know what is underneath and what is running our lives. So if we don't communicate with our subconscious and we don't try to understand it through the messages that it gives us, then we may never understand who we truly are. So for me, the dreams are very, very important. They are like a bridge between my subconscious and my conscious mind, and they help me a lot on a daily basis to make important decisions. One of the decisions that I had to make was whether to go on a solo trip for a year or not. And I think that the white tree in my dream came at the right moment. But I just have to tell you very briefly that I wouldn't probably have so many symbolic dreams if I didn't have this ritual of like writing morning pages every day at 5 o'clock for the last 3 years. Because the morning pages is like uncluttering your mind. It's like stream of consciousness that you don't censor. And you might be surprised that at the beginning you try to control it, you try to make it even look nice, but then you don't care, and you just, anything that is in your mind, you just put it on the paper, and by doing so you can see the patterns of your thinking, what kind of thoughts come to your mind, and then by seeing them you can change them. But coming back to the dream about the white tree. So at that time I was battling with the decisions, like what to do. Should I stay, not go anywhere, or should I just take a risk and just go on a solo trip for a year to Southeast Asia? So I've never been to Southeast Asia, and I thought it was very exotic, very different. I've never been there, so it's going to open up so many new things for me. And I'm going to learn a lot about myself. Which I did, but this is a different topic. The tree helped me a lot to make this decision, because in the dream I heard knocking on the door in the middle of the night, and I went downstairs, and when I opened the door there was this huge tree which was all white, with millions of leaves, and it was shaking its leaves as if it wanted to tell me something important. But I was so surprised and so shocked. I didn't know what to think about it, why it was appearing at my doorstep so huge. So I started, because I didn't get the message straight away. I knew the message was there, but I didn't know what was the message. So I started sitting with it in my morning journals, looking at it, illustrating it. I am going to show you the picture of my entry in the journal, and also my drawing of the tree. And I knew that this has this message. It's shaking its leaves. It was trying to tell me that, yes, just make this move, just go and book the ticket and just go. It's like it was like representing me, with my tiny mind compared to its size, and it was saying, you are bigger than this house. This house is not you anymore. You just have to go and explore. So it's the mind that you know and the roles that constructed you in a way. That's not everything. So on the I think on the 13th of September, which was Friday, and apparently you shouldn't make any important decisions on Friday the 13th, but I did. I bought a ticket to Bangkok on the and the flight was on the 11th of the 11th, which was very important for me as well, because I kept seeing these numbers all the time for the last 2 years. And I knew that if I don't buy these flights today, then it's gonna be a different day. It's gonna be a different meaning to it. There were only 2 seats left, and I bought the tickets. So I experienced so much during travels, but I'm going to talk about it like in steps, gradually, because it's just too much, and every country brought me a different lesson. People that I met taught me so much about myself as well, the problems and everything. But when I came back, there was a second sign from the tree, because I also painted this tree after I had this dream, just to look at it and just to sometimes slow down and think, what kind of message, what kind of things am I seeing when I look at it materialize, so in reality, in front of me, because it's different when you draw something and then you look at it. It brings different messages. So when I came back to the UK, I put this painting on the shelf, and the weird things started happening. Like, it was always coming off the shelf, landing in front of me with the roots up, so upside down. And it happened 2 or 3 times in a row. So every day when I was coming from work, it was landing in front of me with the roots up. So I was wondering why, if it happened one time, fine, okay, it happens. But then I believe in synchronicities and signs. So if the white tree lands in front of you upside down with the roots up, what can it mean? I was wondering. Nothing is the way it used to be, so I feel very unhappy at work, and I am like counting down the days that I can limit the time at my work to the minimum. The relationship is finishing, so we are living in the same house but living next to each other, so we will be separating, and the house is on the market, so this house that I'm in now will be gone probably in 2 or 3 months. So everything seems to be upside down, and it's not easy. So that's one way of looking at it. It's just reminding me, look, you are in a hard situation now. You are like in a transition period. And it's reminding me it's just a transition, but at the same time it gave me a different meaning. A different meaning came to me from looking at this picture upside down. I looked at the roots, and the roots are me, and the roots are exposed, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'm making this video, which means that I am exposing my roots. The roots are me. The roots are the message from me to me. And I'm not only exposing them to myself, but also I'm exposing them publicly. So this is a very scary thing for me to do. I've always been very scared of like showing too much of myself. I'm an introvert, as I said before, so only my very close friends know everything about me. But looking at this tree with the roots up, I knew that this is another challenge for me. So the first one was to go on a solo trip, which was very, very valuable, and I've learned so much about myself. But at the same time, I came back a very different person, and I knew there will be a new challenge waiting for me, because it's like a domino. So once you start changing, you can never go back. So for me, how I started making my changes is that I wanted to prove it to myself that I can show up for myself every day. So I was doing this through morning pages at 5 o'clock in the morning for many years, for 2 years, prior to the trip. And then I was observing my thoughts on the page. So after 3 months, I could see that my thoughts are changing. They are not so negative any longer. And there is a new voice that is very different. And I started changing the color of the pen on my morning pages. Every time I heard this different voice. So you will notice that this is the best time of the day, and before the world wakes up, your mind is still clear and still connected to your subconscious. So maybe you will remember your dreams better or clearer. So even if you don't, and there is a reason for it, because maybe you didn't allow them to come to you. I have dreams very often now, and I write them down and I illustrate them, and they speak to me long after I had these dreams. So you can train your mind as well to start having dreams more often, because they are like the bridge between our subconscious and conscious mind. So just maybe start like telling yourself that today I will remember a dream. Sometimes we have many dreams, but just train your brain to remember one dream, and just keep like a little notebook next to your bed. I keep my phone, so before I even open my eyes, I record myself, and then I listen to it in the morning, and I write it down in my morning pages, and then illustrate it. So just the fact that you will be showing up for yourself every day in the morning pages, in the quiet time, without switching anything else on, is the proof that you care for yourself, and it's preparing the ground for a change. And you don't have to know what kind of change it will bring. It will bring changes, but it will be gradually, step by step. It will not shock you. You don't have to do like leaps. You don't have to do the bungee jumping. No, just show up for yourself. And I would also do a lot of walking as well in nature, or just staying in nature, because this voice that is waking up in you through writing in the journal will also be very clear, and will also start speaking to you when you are connected with nature. Well, this is how it works for me. I don't know if it's going to work for you. Maybe for being in the flow through making art, or something that you enjoy doing, or maybe playing with your dog without any noise from TV, from our applications. So you probably will find your own way of how to reconnect with the quiet part of yourself. So I had a lot of dreams that are loaded with symbolism, And so I will be bringing them to this channel from time to time because I think they are very, very important. They actually help me make very difficult and hard decisions in my life, or they give me this extra kick and push to do something. But it comes from me. It didn't have to come from anyone else. I just have to learn how to trust this voice. It takes time. For me, it took a few months to hear the voice first, and then to trust it. So I keep my fingers crossed for you, and I know if you want the change, you can initiate the change just by slowing down and keep writing and keep showing up for yourself. And if the changes are happening to you, share it with me. I'll be very, very interested to read about your changes and how it plays out for you.